So welcome, official welcome. Thank you for joining me today. As we have for so many weeks now, we have our tennis ball underfoot. We've got our resistance band. Hopefully it's still tied in a loop. If not, we'll get to that in a minute. And we also have the full length foam roller. So stepping on the ball, smushing, stepping and smushing. Stepping and smushing. About 4 passes. We'll do all on one foot today. So we'll do the whole sequence on the whatever foot you started with, and then we'll switch sides. So then we're going to come to placing the tennis ball under, just behind the ball of the foot, letting the toes drape down and arcing the foot from side to side, trying to assume the shape of the ball, massaging the latitudinal arch of the foot. The rainbows. Rainbows. You also might feel a stretch along the top of the arch a little bit. And then we'll do our toe stretches. So tennis ball underneath the pad of the toe, trying to get the toe joint on the mat, bend the knee, lift the heel up. 2. So you're trying to wedge the ball in there. 3, 4, and then I'm going to have to hold it today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third toe. We're going approximately toe by toe. There's some overlap. And then 4th toe. This is an opportunity to inspect your foot health overall. And the 5th toe, looking at the nails, looking at the coloration of the nails, checking out the little cracks between the toes, if there are, if you can kind of see. All right, and then we'll do our doming. So tennis ball underneath the ball of the foot, spreading those stretched out toes wide like a fan, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. And one more time. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. And then 1, take a minute to stand on 2 feet. Look at your feet. Look at the difference in coloration. 1. 2, of course, sense how different they feel. But I hate when people do before and afters. Although hate is a strong word. It annoys me because it's like, well, obviously you've done something to one foot. It's going to feel different than not doing anything to the other foot. So observe that for yourselves, okay? The power of doing something, anything at all. It's the other foot. Stomp and smush. But in a way, too, that's reassuring because you can do pretty much anything, and provided it doesn't hurt, feel painful, your body will generally feel better. About 4 passes, maybe a little bit more, whatever you need to do. If you like to do light, fast ones, that's fine. And then we will arc the arch over the ball. So tennis ball behind the ball of the foot, letting the toes drape down and arcing the foot from side to side. There is some synergistic movement through the leg into the hip joint, desirable. And that keep your heel grounded on the floor because we're trying to create some parameters for the foot and the ankle to move away from, yeah. So we're trying to touch the big toe and the pinky toe. So the whole foot is like a rocking canoe. And then we'll do our toe stretches. So I'm going to hold the ball with my hand. So toe joint stays on the floor. Pad of the toe is on the ball, and you lift the heel to stretch the underside of the toe and the underside of the ball of the foot. 3, 4, And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep working your way across the foot from the big toe out. I'm on the third toe. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for walking. 3, 4. And then we'll do our doming. So spreading the toes wide like a fan with the tennis ball underneath the ball of the foot. Reach the toes long. Wrap, lift, and pull. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. Yeah, keeping the heel on the floor. So it's a super small move. I do this really dramatic movement with my hand, like it's like, wow, there's a lot that people are doing. There's nothing happening really. If you spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. What I observe with Everett, so if you stand on 2 feet, and now of course the feet will feel relatively similar, maybe slightly different still, is that if you try to dome your feet and you grip your toes a little bit, that's a way to help you stabilize the whole body for fine motor work. So when you're working on, like, my favorite image is applying liquid eyeliner, but maybe we're not doing that these days. So maybe, or if you're doing some fine chopping, I don't know if you ever did this, Robert, when you were in the kitchen more professionally, but the toes, gripping the toes and getting some doming through the foot helps to stabilize the lower leg, and it works itself all the way up through the pelvic floor to create more stability in the arms and hands. So try that when you're doing some fine motor work. Do your foot doming. See how it goes. We're switching things up again today. Come to the floor. We're going to massage the glutes. We're going to do a little figure 4 stretch. And then we're going to stand back up. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. So I'm massaging from the inner part of the glute, close to the spine and the tailbone, up and down, working my way out, and then we're going to get to the side. Oh, boy. The more bent the leg is, the more taut the muscle is, and it can be a little bit more painful. So if it's feeling super painful, lengthen the leg you're massaging and see if that changes things for you. Oh boy. This is when I probably should mute myself so I could groan in peace without change sides. Try to breathe. Observing where the primary tension points are. Be sure to get a little bit on the side of the glute. Okay. Set the ball aside, out of the way. And stay down, figure 4 stretch. Either the sitting version or the lying down version. I'm going to do the lying down version today. So lie down on your back, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, thread your hands through the space between the legs. It's a little approximate triangle shape. And then I like to clasp my hands behind the back of the left thigh. From there, feel your tailbone grounding down and anchoring into the floor and trying to maintain, yes, and then grab a pillow. All the natural curves in the low back. So instead of curling up like a little turtle and feeling like you're going to tip over, which can, if you feel that way, Annette, this is a good time to get the pillow. Get a pillow so that you can sit up a little bit. Oh, you got one? Okay. Okay. Yeah, and then Annette, hold on, Annette. Yeah, cross the left foot over the right thigh, just above the knee. Yes. Then there's this triangular space between the legs in the middle. Yep, hold behind the right leg. So one hand goes, the right hand goes on the outside. Yes. There you go. Yeah. Now put your head down, and now you can rock yourself to sleep like a little baby. Does this feel a little bit more natural? All right. And then come center, and then you'll flex the ankle. Before we change sides, flex the ankle and straighten the knee, point and bend. So of the leg that you're holding, you flex the ankle and straighten. We're still on the first side. I haven't changed sides yet. I know what's coming today, so I'm trying to set you up for success. So we're doing a flossing action of the leg. You don't have to straighten the leg that you're holding fully if it doesn't go, but the action of attempting straight and keeping the thigh still. Yeah, Robert, hold your other leg. Hold your right leg. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Last 2 sets and 1 set. And now we will change sides. So let go, unwind, do your other side. So the leg that's perpendicular to the floor is the one that you hold. And the leg where the knee is pointing out to the side, that's the one that you're stretching. In case that wasn't abundantly clear. Robert, you could also use a little towel or just roll up the edge of your mat. A little bit. Yeah. Just to give your head a little lift. Just a little something. Yeah. Wiggle yourself down so that the padding of the mat roll is behind the skull. Yeah, there you go. All right, come to a still point and you'll flex and straighten and point and bend. Flex and straighten and point and bend. Flex and straighten. Remember our footwork that we did already with the doming. So as you point, feel a sense of that lift through the arch of the foot. How else are we going to get you into point shoes by the end of the summer, people? Your ballet careers are imminent. Imminent. It's inevitable. Last set. Okay. Let go, unwind, roll over to your side, come up. Today's more of an up and down kind of a day. All right, now we're feeling so relaxed after lying down on the floor. Sorry to make you get back up. We're gonna do some shoulder circles. Rolling. Tuning into how the ribs and the shoulder blades are interrelating. So as the chest opens, the shoulder blades squeeze together and they're down, they lift up, they widen around the sides of the back. And noticing how the action of moving the shoulders changes the orientation of the head. How when we bring our shoulders forward, we like to move our head in adjustment to that. We're going to do reverse one more time. It's an uneven sequence, so we're going to end with the opening. Okay, grab your roller. Hold. widthwise. The grip is fluid, so sometimes we'll have our fingers grabbing, sometimes we'll have our palms pressing. You're going to bend your left elbow and push the roller to the right. So I'm showing you what's happening here. Right, and then yes, and then you're going to push and rotate and come back to the center. And then change sides. So one arm is straight, one arm is bent, rotating around. And as you do this, maintain gentle pressure of pushing into the roller and try to keep the arm, the long arm, in the socket. Yeah, Robert, this might be too much for you. You can also lower it. It doesn't have to be up high, it can be lower. Try lower. Reaching out. This can be, anything can be done at different heights. Ooh, yeah, I certainly feel I have a different experience here in this lower side. And that, keep your hips pointing forward as much as possible. Yeah. Good. And if you'd like to experiment with up diagonal, you can do that. Robert won't do this. Come forward to the middle. The long arm will go up and back. This is for a Pec Minor Stretch, which goes underneath the breast tissue, underneath the main pec muscle. One more set each side. The more you keep your hips pointing forward, and to try to keep your chest actually pointing forward, the more the stretch you'll get through this area. So bending one arm and straightening the other. Okay. Woohoo! Roll the shoulders again. Set the roller aside. We'll come back to it. Parallel posture. So feet aligned with the hip sockets, which is, if you find your hip bones about an inch or two inwards, bend your knees, find your hip crease, and draw a line straight down. That is about where your hip socket is. It's pretty narrow because the neck of the femur comes in at an inward angle. So the thigh bone might come out slightly, and then the neck of the femur angles in to root in the socket. Feel the weight shift forward onto the balls of the feet, and then shift your weight back onto your heels. Forward to balls, and back onto the heels. Forward onto the balls, and then come about halfway back so the heels remain light. Feel a sense of doming through the feet slightly without grabbing, so no toe clenching, keeping the toes lined. Just a whisper of lifting through just behind the ball of the foot. And we're going to do our bone reverberations. Bouncing, 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 bouncing. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, knees are soft. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let everything shake off your. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last set, 2, 3. And up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, hard to stop at this point. Grab your band. Fold it in half. Robert, we'll do single ply. Yeah, okay. So, just slightly wider than shoulder width. Holding the band. I'm holding it in between my thumbs with a very light grab. Not a grip of death, no white knuckling. Just as much openness as I need, and if I need a little bit more support for the thumb, I'm going to grab that way. Because we're going to do external rotation of the arm and internal rotation of the arm. Maintaining gentle pulling through the band. So you're not stretching the band, you're just toning it, and you're externally rotating the arms, and then you're internally rotating the arms. And there's going to be some reciprocal motion through the shoulder blades, like when we did our shoulder circles. And out. 2 more times, in and out, and then we're going to raise the arms up a level, in and out. So then you're going to come up a couple degrees, maybe about 10 to 15 degrees, in and out. I'm observing as I see myself that my right shoulder, this side, likes to come up a little bit on the internal rotation and out. And the left one doesn't like to do that. So if you can see your little you. And out. One more time. We're going to keep moving upwards, so Robert, you might want to take a break for the upper sets. Okay. But you play and see. This is exploratory motion. And now we're seeing how the body responds. I'm still just rotating the arms, doing the same action that I did low. Now I've just raised my arms up a little higher. And then I'm going to come higher. In and in. Noticing how the internal rotation gets very difficult here, and it gets much harder to pull the band. In and out. And then come up to the highest point you can. Ugh, this feels yucky. I'm just going to say that. In and out. In and out. And work our way down and out. Those higher ranges really feel gross. In, out, in, out. Come below the shoulders. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and to the low point. Ah, sweet sigh of relief. Elongate your posture. I felt like I started to crumple myself. Out. In and out. Okay, roll the shoulders. Yeah, head tilts from side to side. While we have the long band, if you've got the single ply band, this works just fine. You just step on the band in the middle. Robert will grab the ends, and ladies will grab just next to the side of the knee. So you're standing on the band, and there's a part swagging down. It's just single ply. Yeah, it doesn't matter where the knot is. So you feel that your arms are being pulled down by the band. So you bend your knees, grab around next to your knees, and then straighten your legs, keeping your arms straight. And then you're going to go side to side. Tilting from the head to start. Hopefully the AirPods are still working. So we're in, yeah, they crapped out on me. Good. One more side each side. Okay, bend your knees, come off of the band. Take a sip of water while I change my AirPods. Okay, great. Oh, hi Gus, you're still in my spot. You're still in my spot, you gotta move. Thank you. Okay, so from here, we are going to make a short loop within our long loop, meta, okay? So have it be as flat as possible. We're going to measure about halfway. If you hold the fold of the band in your hand, you're going to go past the elbow joint, just to around halfway up the arm. Hold that spot, and then you're going to tie a loop. Pull the folded side through. And then you have a smaller loop. You're going to step into said loop. And you're going to hold one side, either tuck it into your pants, that's what I'm going to do. And Robert, it won't be an issue for you. So it'll be a little bit on the looser side, if it's just above the knee possibly. Okay, do you want it to be snug but not tight? We're taking rather large steps. So if you have a long tail, once you have your loop, you're not tied. I'm watching you. Let's see. That looks good. And the good news is if one side of the loop is too small, you still have another side, so you can switch it up. So we just don't want to step on the loop, the band. So put it on like you're shimmying up into a little pencil skirt. It probably is not going to stay flat. But if it does, wonderful. Bonus kudos. If it's tight, great. It'll be fine. Not too high. Don't pull it all the way up in it. Just to maybe a couple inches above the knee. A little lower. Yeah, good. Polly, you're great. Robert, I can't see, but I'm assuming you're terrific. Okay, so we're gonna do some monster walks. So sitting down, right, into a squat position. We are going to pray. Okay, this is for you, Annette. And you're going to drop your wrists down. So, sorry, we're gonna pray very specifically, choreographically. We're going to interlace our fingers with our thumbs together, and we're going to drop the thumbs down. Comme ça. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to step together. Keep your elbows close to the side. Step together. I'm taking really big steps, so I run out of space in my space. Goodbye. Step together. And then the other way. Together. Step together. I'm going to be coming in and out of my space one more time. Step. Goodbye. Another side. Step together. Step together. Snuggle your elbows to your waistline. Step together. Good. Up. The other way. Step together. We're back. Step. Goodbye. Step together. Last step. Step together. Stick your booty out a little bit, Annette. Lift your chest up. Step together. Stay low. Step together. Last set. Last time. Ooh. It didn't start off as anything, but now I'm feeling it. Step together. So shuffle back in. Take your encore. I know, that was really fun. That was cracking me up theater-wise. Now we're going to do a little disco party. Oh, we're still here, Annette. Yeah. This hellscape is continuing. Okay. Hands on hips if you want. Hands on shoulders for extra posture. Hands behind the head if available. We're going to step forward and side and back. Watch the dog. And side. So you stay planted on one leg and you return to it the whole time. Exactly. Then we do the other side. Front, side, straight to bend, back, and side. Isn't this hateful? Again, the first leg. Front, side. I'm going to pivot so you can see my angles. Back, side. Change legs. Front, side, back. Whoops, watch the dog. Side. Now, we did our pelvic clock. Now we're going to remember our clock and we're going to go add some angles. Front, front diagonal, side, back diagonal, back. Start from the other side. Front, front diagonal, side, woohoo, back diagonal, and back. Good. Whew. Okay. Now, last sequence. Hands behind, if your hands are behind the head, you have to push your head actively into your hands. Yeah, Robert, this isn't for you today. Robert, this might be for you. Yeah. So really swinging the collarbones out. Standing on one leg, little kicks, up, 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 to the side, 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 hateful. Oh, and that, yeah, tighten your band. Up, 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 to the back. Oh, this is really hard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're taking a breather, so that, yeah, Robert's having a grand old time. And do it without the band. Front, it's hard enough without. 3, 4, I hope I did 8 with the first. 7, 8, and side. And back. You can just tap the toe to the back. Try to extend the knee fully, which is hard. If you don't, that's fine. 7, 8. Okay, dokie. Come out of here. Go back to a single loop. So untie that little loop. Okay. They make a loop band product, Annette. So in case you're interested in repeating that but can't, are still kerfuffled by the tying, there's a solution that you can purchase. Okay, we get to lie down, people. Hooray! Aren't you glad we did all those glute stretches and massage first? Okay, so we're going to go into our pelvic clocking sequence, revisiting that, going deep for a little bit. Then we're going to do some leg circumduction exercises, meaning circling the leg, and we're going to use the band with that. And we're going to also do some bridging. And then we're going to go into some upper body work, lying face down. Okay, so we will do, let's see, we will also do some roller stuff with the abdominals. Just have to figure that out. There's so much I want to do here. Okay, so go ahead, lie on your side, get onto your back. The band is nearby. It is within reach. The roller, you could probably kick it to yourself with your leg. So everything's close, but you don't feel claustrophobic or anything like that. So, place the hands on the pelvis, the fingertips pointing towards the pubic bone, the heel of the hand resting on the hip bones, and the thumbs pointing inwards towards each other, just below the navel, depending on your proportions. So breathing in and out. Breathing in, expanding into the abdomen, into the pelvis, and out. Maintaining the curves of the spine. Yes. I will tell you through that. I will talk you through the whole thing again. Thank you. Yes. So we're breathing, and as we take this moment to breathe, I'm really glad you brought that up, Holly. So the 12 o'clock is towards your navel. The 6 o'clock is towards your pubic bone. 3 o'clock is on your left hip, and 9 o'clock is on your right hip. I'm not reversing the directions. So the center of the clock is approximately the center of your sacrum. That's where the hands will spin from. Right now we're observing how, for some of us, we just simply breathe in and out. For those of us like myself, I have a really, pelvic stability has always been my challenge. I have to think of staying light in the back of the top of my sacrum to keep the curve in my low back, because generally my pattern is to relax my back and sink into 12 o'clock, passive 12 o'clock on the exhale. Right now we're not doing any motion. We're trying to keep stable through the spine and the pelvis with relaxation and ease. You might also observe that on the inhale you start to arch your low spine and go into a natural 6 o'clock pattern. Let's just do one more breath here. From here, finding a little bit of tone from the perineum, the pelvic floor elevating up towards the rib cage, finding a little modicum of tone in the pelvis, and you're going to deliberately tip your pubic bone to point towards you, so the 12 o'clock hour is dropping down towards the floor. And then you're going to inhale, return to neutral, and then go a little bit past that into 6 o'clock. Come to neutral. Exhale, pelvic floor elevates, pelvic tone, and tip the pelvis into the 12 o'clock hour. So the navel part of the clock is dropping down towards the floor. Inhaling to neutral, and then going a little bit past neutral, like you're rolling over your sit bones a little bit. And back to neutral. Exhaling, 12 o'clock. Inhale to neutral and slightly beyond. Come to neutral, exhale. Inhale to neutral and slightly beyond. Neutral, exhale, 12 o'clock. Inhale, neutral, slightly beyond. Last time like this, exhaling, 12 o'clock. Inhaling to neutral, slightly beyond. And then come center. Take a moment to exhale. Another inhale. As you exhale, we're going to alternate between 3 and 9. So keeping the thighs parallel, the knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Ground through the left side of the pelvis, just inside the hip bone, and inhale center. And exhale right side. And inhale center. And exhale left. It's like your sacrum, which is triangular shaped. We were doing a teeter-totter on the long side of the triangle. Now we're doing a teeter-totter on the short side. Inhale center. Exhale, alternating between left and right. So it's almost like one knee reaches longer, just ever so slightly. Keeping the knees pointing up to the ceiling. So with this, we're getting some spine rotation just below the ribs. And we're navigating from the pelvis. Come center, we're going to explore our diagonals, our oblique angles. So go to your left hip socket. You can bring your hand there if you'd like. So we're going to go, so that's about 4:30. And then you're going to draw a line diagonally across to the right side of the pelvis, just above the hip bone on the inside of the pelvic bowl. And we're going to alternate. So at the top of the right sacrum, and then deepen the hip crease on the left hip. So your teeter-totter is now diagonal. Inhaling as you go into 4:30. Exhaling as you go into 10:30. Inhaling. And exhaling. Noticing if you're going directly through the center of the clock, or if you're going kind of a circuitous or wiggly route. Something to observe. I definitely have to help myself by poking my fingers from the front of me, pushing down. That really helps me. Last time, ending with 10:30, coming to the center, switching the hands. So we're going to about 7:30 and or 8:30, 8:30 and 2:30, 8 and 2. So starting with the deep in the right hip socket, grounding down, and then coming through diagonally through the center to 2:30, and alternating. Inhaling into 8:30, exhaling into 2:30. Noticing how the back of the neck wants to shorten, particularly when we go into 8:30. So take an opportunity to re-lengthen it in the 1:30 last set. Inhaling to 8:30, trying to find softness through the hip flexors. Come to the center, and then we're going to do 4 circles in each direction. So we'll go 4 times circling in the forward time position, starting with 12, rolling through 2:30, 1, 2, 3, going through 4, 4:35, 6, 7, 8, 8:39, 10, 11, 12, and continuing on. 3 more in that direction, keeping the thighs pointing straight up to the ceiling, and exhaling. Noticing if there's an hour that it's not your hour of the day. Last time in this direction, we'll come to 12 and then we'll turn back time. I can safely say that no one wants to turn back time. It's back to 2020. Just going to put that out there. Inhaling between 9 and 3 in the southerly part of the clock, and exhaling in the northerly part of the clock. 3, 12, 9. One more circle. Do 12s, fine. Come to the middle to find your neutral. Grab your band. Robert single ply. Polly and Annette single or double. Again, this is not for stretching the band. This is for creating a relationship between the arms and the shoulders. So the palms will face your legs. We're going to inhale, reach the arms back as far as you feel comfortable. And exhale, bring the arms forward and down. Inhale, reaching up and over. And exhale, reach the arms forward and down. As you inhale, inflate the back of the rib cage. Feel the ribs connecting with the floor. And exhale, maintain that connection. And use the exhale to find tone below the rib cage. One more time like this, inhaling, reaching back, and exhaling, reaching up and forward and down. On our next one, same action, inhale, reaching back, exhale, hips up, arms down into the thighs, bridging. Good. Inhale, hips down, reach back. Exhale, arms forward, hips up, band into the thighs, lift the hips into the band, pull the band down. Good. Stretch your arms, Annette. Yeah, Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, arms forward, hips up, arms pull down. And if the double ply band isn't working, that's good, Annette, good. Inhale, down and back. Exhale, forward, up. Lift the hips into the band. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Hips down. Switching the band behind the thighs. Actually behind the knees. Maintaining some tone in the band. Oh my gosh, hold on. Brain amnesia. Having amnesia. One leg up in the tabletop, other leg up in the tabletop. Okay, good. Oh, I think this is, okay, cross the band. There we go. Okay, so you have the band crossed, your legs are in tabletop, and have the band come around the outside of the palm and hold it between the thumb and the fingers, and then there's the long end that's trailing on your chest approximately. Okay, so palms are facing each other, slightly wider than your rib cage, and it's not tied, it's just Annette, it's single ply band, so you've got a length of band there. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be too short. So put yourself through the loop. Yeah. Great. So, one X in the front, exactly. Okay, so legs are in tabletop. Arms are straight up. So we're going to do some pelvic tilts here. Between 12 to neutral, not into 6 here. So exhale, keep your legs still, pushing gently into the band, and try to pull your pubic bone into 12 o'clock, and then relax back down into neutral. Exhale, pelvic tilt, and inhale to return to neutral. Exhale to pelvic tilt, inhale to neutral. And now you're going to need to grip up on your band, and so you can keep your arms above your shoulders. Probably that looks good. I have the band wrapped around so my hands are on the inside of the loop, and then I bring the end in between my thumb and my fingers to kind of pinch or grip it, so my palms are open. And one more time. Okay, now we're going to do our toe taps. So maintain some abdominal control, and you're going to feel the opposite arm having to help you stabilize as you tap your right toe down, and inhale up. And the left toe. Robert, let me know how this does for you. Up. Okay, good, okay. And up. And Robert, you are in internal rotation here, and I'm kind of in a neutral position, so I want to maintain the palms facing each other. So I find that this is an ease point for the shoulder, versus working the top of the shoulder if your arms are internally rotated. So we're working more the underside. Last time. Good. Bend your elbows, bring everything down, take a break. Just like have a roll over and have a looky see. So somehow, I disregard the loop behind my neck. So I have I sneak the band, the bulk of the hand inside with the band outside my hand, and then it comes between my thumb and my finger, and just have it pinched like this. And that's so that when we're, again, disregard, there we go. So that way we can maintain palms facing each other as if we could do our scapular glides like that. Yeah. So maybe your band might be too short, Robert, I'm not sure. Yeah, Ned. Yeah. So that way we're not having to like grip or hold like this, because I was noticing if you grip like this with the palms facing out, we're going to really work the top of the shoulder a lot. Not necessarily a bad thing, but for most of us, it's going to be easier to connect the upper arm bone into the shoulder in external rotation. So if you want to grab, you just have to like turn, hold, and do a little flippy. So that I feel like having the band out this way. Yeah, that looks good, Robert. Does that feel okay? You're just slightly above 90. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. All right. So we're coming back because, again, I know what's coming next. Oh dear, I'm all tangled up. There we go. Again, I invite you to do a fist, and Polly, I can't teach this materially. Oh God, sorry. I've got so many things going through my mind. Okay, here we are. So, opening one arm to the side and close. And opening the other arm to the side and close. Opening one arm to the side. Feel the shoulder muscles opening your arm. And up. Feel the opposite hip widening to help you stay stable. So the palms are facing inwards towards each other, whether you're in a fist or you're open. By having the band on the outside of the hand, instead of pulling open, you're pushing with the back of the shoulder. Great. I'll wait for time. Oh my gosh, it's time. Okay, we have to do our leg circumduction like I promised. So, undo yourself. Where does the time go? Double ply. I'm sorry, this was so disorganized, but I was really excited about this new sequence. Okay. So, lasso with a 2-ply band, or Robert, grab 2 bands and double layer. So just for the extra long, you have your knot side of the band in one hand, you have the folded side in the other. Yeah. Elbows to the floor. Reach up just above your knee, and then we're going to do a little arm pull. A little Ben-Hur chariot sequence. Stretching the hamstring. Single, one leg, Robert, the other leg's down. Yeah. And then lengthen the bottom leg till it's long and straight. Yes, press down with the heel of the long leg that's on the floor, and you're going to circle the leg on this as much on the ceiling as possible. And we're trying to use gravity to root the thigh bone into the back of the pelvis. And then reversing. Noticing how the pelvis wants to roll around with the leg. Not necessary, my amigos. 3, 4. Okay. Bend the knee, change legs. So, the band is looped around the sole of the foot horizontally. Grab the band just above the knee, palms face each other, elbows to your sides, and pull the band towards the floor. We'll do our arm pulls. 2, 3, 4. And then if you need to get a little slack on the band, we'll do our extend the one leg long. Push myself away from my pull there. And circling, we'll go across to the goal being to drop the head of the femur into the back of the pelvis. 3. And differentiate between the leg and the pelvis. 4, reversing. 1. Good. 2, 3. So you're using the band and you're using gravity. 4. The compression for the hip joint is excellent. Okay, bend and come in. Roll over onto your side and onto your stomach. I'm going to spin around so I can see you. Oh, watch out, Gus. I got to move you, sweetie. You got to go over there. Okay. Lie on your stomach. Forehead resting on the backs of the hands. Legs are going to be nice and long. Feel the anchor points of the front of the body, which we usually don't explore that much. We haven't done a lot of face down work, so I'm remiss in that. So, feel your pubic bone anchoring. The hip bones may or may not be touching. They'd probably be a little bit light. The bottom ribs are connecting. The collarbones are wide, and of course the forehead's resting on the hands, which are stacked up one on top of the other. Elbows are wide to the side. The back of the neck is nice and long. And you're going to have a sense of pulling the pubic bone towards the ribs and the sternum softening to connect and relate towards the pubic bone. And feel like you're pulling your abdominal wall up and away from the floor. So the ribs are still kind of on the floor, but you're creating this tone between the pubic bone and the rib cage. From here, keeping the hands connected to your forehead, stretch out through the legs, opening the fronts of the hips. So you're staying long through the low back. You're going to float your hands with your head up off of the mat and hold 2, 3, 4, and float back down. Good. Hands float up with your head up 2, 3, 4, and back down. Ideally, the elbows will lift off the floor, the forearms, the upper arm, hold 2, 3, 4, and back down. And coming up 2, 3, 4, and back down. One more time, up 2, 3, 4. Stay up. Oh, separate your hands and bring your elbows to your sides and reach your arms back behind you. Palms are facing your body. Internally rotate your arms, staying up, and externally rotate your arms. Lift your chest and lengthen the back of your neck. Internally rotate the arms, staying up. Externally rotate the arms and reach back. Internally rotate the arms. Good, people. Externally rotate the arms, reach back. One more time. Internally rotate the arms and externally rotate the arms, reach back. Good. Bend your arms, support yourself coming down, and then you're going to push back into a child's pose. Ah. I know, that last one came out of nowhere. So, sitting your hips back towards your heels in a comfortable position for you, whether it's all the way back, reaching the arms forward, or whether it's reaching your arms back behind you, allowing the shoulders to roll in. Take a moment to open up the back of the body. Enjoy the compression in the front of the hip joint, the hip crease. Use your hands to help you roll on up to sitting. And then we'll come to standing. Finish standing. Ta-da! Ah. Taking a minute to reset ourselves. Breathe. And thank you. I'll meet you at the camera. Turn these ones off.